So we just arrived to Akumal to swim with the famous sea turtles here in near Playa del Carmen. Awesome place, and we're gonna check that out, and it sounds pretty exciting. That was super fun.
Hey guys, it's Mario here, coming at you from a very beautiful place, a tiny little village called Akumal, just south of Playa del Carmen. This place is famous for sea turtles. The name Akumal is actually, as I was taught here, from ancient Mayan, which means the land of turtles. So it's an awesome place. You can swim with sea turtles. You can see a lot of great things, as you guys can see here. And I want to take this opportunity to film this video here. Luckily, I brought my camera. I didn't actually plan to film here. I planned just to relax here and film a video somewhere else. But this is an amazing place, as you can see. So I want to talk to you guys a bit about something that is inspired by an article that I just read recently, which comes back to a book that I read before, the book called How We Decide. And it is about making the right choice. How do you do the right thing? How do you do the right thing pretty much all the time? How do you make sure that the most of the decisions that you make move you forward? And especially when it comes to healthy eating, when it comes to sticking your calorie deficit or your calorie surplus, or basically just eating a healthy diet, or going to the gym, or getting to bed earlier. How do you stick to these healthy habits? And one quick example, and you've probably been in a situation, I mean, have you ever had a long work day, been really working hard, had a lot of meetings, a lot of phone calls, you've accomplished a lot, you were in flow state, you did a lot of great work, came back home, and you just had that slice of cake, just had it, and you didn't really know why. I mean, you know the right decision. You know that you had to stay in that caloric deficit for that day. You know that you could have managed your calories a little bit better. You know that you could have went to the gym that day, but you had that cake. Then you just procrastinated a little bit on the computer. Maybe a new episode came out on Netflix. You watched that a little bit. Then you went on Reddit a little bit. You came back and all of a sudden, you know, you had no time to go to the gym. It was time to go to bed and go to work the next day. What happened there? Why didn't we just do the right thing? Why didn't we come back from work, put on our gym clothes, maybe get a pre-workout snack, hit the gym, hit the post-workout meal, get to bed on time, and just continue our life and just get the results? What happened there? What happens when, let's say, you say no to a dessert in a restaurant where you're eating with your friends, like all your friends just love the restaurant and they love the desserts, they order desserts, and you say, well, you're thinking in your head, well, I'm the health conscious one, you know, I'm the one who's supposed to be making the right decisions, and you say no to dessert. You're very proud of that. You're just saying no, I'm not gonna get the dessert this time. I'm gonna save my calories for a piece of fruit later. And what happens, you exit the restaurant, 2 hours later, you're at home, you just open that bag of chips, or you just eat that, some kind of sugary yogurt thing that you had in your fridge, or you just get that slice of cake or that ice cream that was in the freezer for the last half a year. And you just do that. What happened there? And you just not did just eat that piece of ice cream, but you also escalated, you ate a lot of other things. And it all kind of was triggered by the fact that you said no to that dessert in the restaurant. It all was triggered by the fact that you had to spend some kind of self-control, you had to spend some mental energy on declining some offer. And now that's kind of backfiring, and it's usually backfiring triple, quadruple. It's just taking you completely off track. And it's not until you just get some sleep, kind of sleep over it, and just wake up the next day and you're kind of ready to make good decisions again. But the cycle can repeat itself, of course, if you deplete yourself again. So how do we manage this? Why does this happen? Well, according to this research study, which is really awesome, and Shiv, Stanford University, they just basically took a bunch of students, undergraduates, and they compared them in two groups. And it was very simple. One group was supposed to memorize a 2-digit number. The other group was supposed to memorize a 7-digit number. And what they did afterwards, after they've gone through this process of memorization and just tested them, they just presented them with two choices when it comes to food. They presented them with either eating a cheesecake, actually it was a chocolate cake, I believe, in this experiment. I don't know why I'm thinking about a cheesecake. Must be a hidden craving somewhere there. So they presented them with a chocolate cake, and the other choice was a bowl of fruits. And what happened there is that the students that were the ones that were supposed to memorize these 7 digits, basically a more intense task cognitively, were twice as likely to pick the chocolate cake. So these students were somehow more depleted to make the right choice. They all knew what the right choice was, that they knew what was the choice that would eventually, let's say, lead to a better health outcome, but they just went to the chocolate cake anyway. So why does this happen? Well, it's kind of that battle that we keep coming back to. As you guys who watch my channel for a long time know that our brain is very, very complicated, right? But we can kind of divide it in two simple ways we think. Number one way we think, it's with our prefrontal cortex. That's kind of the most advanced part of our brain. It's the brain that does the right thing. It's the brain that knows that you want to get shredded one day, that knows that you want to build muscle, that knows you want to eat healthy food, have more energy, get to bed on time, pick a healthy choice in a restaurant. It's the brain that knows what the right thing is to do. But there's another part of the brain which kind of counteracts that brain, which is the old reptile, monkey brain, or whatever you want to call it. It's the type of brain that basically just cares about conserving energy. It's the brain that just makes you a little bit lazy sometimes. It just makes you a little bit more instinctual in the moment, because in the moment that cake felt really, really good, but it doesn't really think about what's going to happen in the future. It doesn't think about the consequences of actions. And how do we manage this? And now the question is, well, if that the most advanced part of our brain can't handle it, how can we manage this? What do we do when we're just being depleted? Because inevitably, I mean, we live in a society where it doesn't matter how much knowledge you have, you will have to make a lot of decisions. You will have to make choices every single day. Some of those choices will be incredibly difficult, especially when we're dealing with relationships, when you're dealing with work stuff, when you're dealing with a lot of other things that we don't necessarily have a lot of control of. We have to make hard choices. And those days are very, very frequent. A lot of stress is put on us. And how do we manage this? Well, one thing, and one powerful strategy, probably the most powerful behavior change strategy out there, by far, because if you master just this one little thing, it's kind of the Pareto principle. Like, this one thing is going to give you 80% of results. This is the 20%, right? This is the 20% when it comes to behavior change that will kind of hack your habits. It's going to shortcut your success. Basically, all the good things that we want. What is that thing? Well, imagine you were depleted that day. Imagine you came back from work. It was a 10, 12-hour work day. You really crushed it, but now you just have those cravings. You can't really make the right decisions. You are either postponing stuff or you're just going by instinct. You can't really control yourself. All of a sudden you're rushed, you're stressed, you're feeling anxious. You want to get that cake, you want to get some food in you because you feel like depleted. But what if you came back home and there was no chocolate cake there? What if there was no ice cream in the fridge? What if the only option that you had in that moment, right then and there, was a piece of fruit? What if there was the only option is to get a tub of Greek yogurt that is really, really high protein and awesome for your diet? What if there were only vegetables and lean protein and a healthy meal ready right then and there for you to eat it and hit the gym and get back, get a post-workout meal, go to bed and finish up your day and call it a success? What then? And what is the difference here? Well, you have one advantage. And this scenario that I just presented to you, this little imaginary scenario, there's one advantage that your prefrontal cortex has above. There's many other advantages, of course, but this is a critical one when it comes to healthy habits, is that it has the imagination. It has the ability to predict future. It has the ability to see the consequences, and it has the ability to create mental models. So the prefrontal cortex can kind of trick. You can use your current state where you're in right now, where you're thinking straight, when you're being very rational. You can use your situation right now to design the environment, to trick the reptile brain, to trick the monkey brain into making the healthy choice by making that healthy choice take less effort, require less energy. Make that healthy choice the lazy choice, the default choice. That's it. Designing your environment, designing the places where you're in. 80% of the time we're in the same places. 80% of the days, 80% of the year, we're probably in a very similar situation. And nothing is preventing us from taking control of that situation, of that environment, and just designing it to enforce and to kind of just motivate us to do healthy things. Why wouldn't we do that? Why isn't that workout gear ready for you when you come back from work just to take it on? Like, just immediately you can take it on, and why isn't it in your bag in the first place? So you can, when you're driving back from work, you can just go straight to the gym. And you already have a pre-workout meal in the car. You just take it or just get a shake and hit the gym there before you come back home. Why aren't we doing this? I think it's the lack of education. I think most people don't really realize how powerful the design of an environment is and how much of our behavior day to day is driven just by the fact that we're in a situation that tells us to do that. And I mean, this is a very simple example. I talk to a couple of clients, I talk to people all the time, and when I come back home, let's say with my family, we visit some people, and they're always like, oh, I'm watching too much TV. And I go into their house, and of course we're there, and we're seeing like their living room, there's a huge TV, brand new TV there, but that's not the only thing. There's actually all the chairs and everything is just pointing into that TV. And I'm thinking in my head, well, what does that environment tell me to do when I walk in here? It tells me exactly to watch TV. There's no doubt about it. This is the environment where you go if you want to watch TV. This is not the environment where you go to read a book, because everything is pointing to the TV. The remote is right there on the table. Takes 2 seconds to just make it happen. What if there was no TV there? What if the TV was in the closet? What if you truly want to watch TV, you can take it out of the closet, plug it in, and watch TV if there's really something important in that TV. But what if it isn't? What if there's a book right then and there where the remote is? How often would you have read that book instead of watching TV? Think about that for a second. Think how powerful a simple minor tweak in the environment can have a ripple effect on your whole health. What if I open your kitchen counter and there's absolutely no unhealthy food there? What if there's only healthy veggies, fruits, and everything is around the house, super, super healthy, promoting great habits? How more likely would you be to make those choices? Much, much more likely. This is the 20%, guys. If you're looking for a solution for you're designing your life to be healthy, to be ripped, to be shredded, to whatever it is, this is it. Just design your environment, design your life to make those healthy choices the default, and you won't even need willpower anymore. You won't need to make decisions anymore because the default is already pre-made when you had your rational brain to work with instead of relying on your day-to-day emotions to guide you. Very, very powerful. Something I wanted to share with you guys. Hope you enjoyed. I know it's a little bit of a longer video. It's not the flashy, here's my cat running on a tree video. No, this is actual information that will help you if you apply it. Try it for a week. Don't believe me, a word I say, just try it out. Try it for 2 weeks, see how it works for you. I bet that it's gonna be a life-changing decision. It's probably gonna be the best decision that you've ever made in your life. Just try it out. Don't take my word for it. And let me know in the comments below right now, have you ever done something like this? Have you ever managed your willpower? Have you ever managed your environment? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're not done that before, if you're not doing it right now, are you willing to try it out? Are you giving it, like, let's say a 30-day challenge? Let me know in the comments. Be honest with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. As I said, leave that comment below. Make sure that subscribe button as well to support the channel. Hit that share button, share the video with people that you think might find this useful. Aside from that, hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.